Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. I'm Cipher, and this is the Devil's Advocate Debate Club. Welcome back. I'm going to be talking about something fairly personal and fairly mature in this video, so viewer discretion is advised. Also, I'm actually filming part 1 after part 2. I got a phone call about 4 minutes into filming and had to restart. Well, I didn't restart, had to make a second part to the video. The first part apparently never saved to my phone, so I'm doing my best to match this one to part 2, but bear with me. I'm talking today about the Me Too movement, or the Men Too movement, which would be people who've been falsely accused, either one of which I could belong to, or I to post my stories more publicly online with, say, people's names. I don't plan to for a number of reasons. However, I do think I'm going to share the stories with you to, well, anyway, the first story, I'll get into more details later. The first story is about a girl who was related to a friend of mine in high school. I was hanging out at his house, and he lived with several of his cousins, and, well, I was 21 at the time, had barely ever drank and never smoked weed before, and she got me crossfaded, or for you kids who don't know, drunk and high one night. And, well, after I was drugged up on her bed, I suppose took advantage of me. It was something I enjoyed, and we had a lot of fun after that. But looking back, I mean, it certainly fits the definition of date rape. Oh, and if I said this in part 1 the first time, I don't remember. I may say this again in part 2, but remember, I'm gender opportunistic, which means if you believe all women and you're listening to this story, then I should register as female, and you have to believe me or you're transphobic. Anyway, back to the serious story. Years later, when I was with a girl who, I forget which part I mentioned it in, is my little dog Brutus's long-lost mommy. A girl who, under certain circumstances, I probably could have been happy with, but I'm just glad that she found happiness. I really am. Anyway, I was falling in love with her at the time. We weren't dating because I never planned to date anyone again. She was trying to convince me to. It was a long story, but we were unattached, and, well, there was a party over at this girl's house, the one who'd potentially taken advantage of me, who's, you know, older than me, by the way. And, sorry, Brutus doesn't look well. And anyway, after the party was over, she invited me to stay over for the night. And, well, we slept and cuddled in the same bed, just that was what we'd always done. It's an old habit at that point. And in the morning, not to share too many details, but, well, when I woke up, she was awake. She was, okay, her eyes were open, she was talking, and she was on top of me. I asked about birth control, she said everything was fine, we had some fun. She later said that she was asleep and that I'd taken advantage of her, that she wasn't on birth control, and spent 5 months claiming to be pregnant with my child. Now, this was a hellish 5 months for me for a number of reasons, but I mean, trying to figure that out, well, trying to figure out what to do with the girl that I loved but didn't want to date. We did end up dating. Well, it was just a rough time. And the girl accusing me of this, accusing me of rape and saying she was pregnant with my child, who had basically taken advantage of me at least once, if not twice, she Well, she told me about all of this one night and was very cordial. We smiled, we laughed, we hugged, we smoked a little bit of weed with my mom, because that's what we did with my mom back then. And, well, she never spoke to me again and started blasting me to mutual friends. And, to this day I'm still on friendly terms with most of her family and like to become friends with some of them again, but she just stopped talking to me, and it was only because of, well, my then soon-to-be and now ex-girlfriend that I was ever saved from this situation. But that's for part 2. I've already covered it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.